that what is happening. I forget when we talked that it's just so I'm so grateful for him, getting a chance to build a business with him alongside him, and that his heart for people, his of course he's a brainiac, we all know that, he's a number guy, but he's really kind of ambidextrous. He does both. I refer to him as a man that's more like a Swiss Army knife in business, because there's not much he can't do. He can do it all, and so it's a joy for me to work alongside, travel alongside, laugh and joke the whole nine, and build with him. A man like that of integrity. It's always awesome to partner with guys, somebody that can run with you and got your back as well. Iron sharpening iron. So thanks, Mr. Greene, for introducing me, and thanks for trusting me as well. And trust is big with me, and I just appreciate that. So good evening, everyone, and I'm really grateful. Mr. White had a fantabulous time. That's a new word out there in Dallas, Texas, with his team. They are phenomenal. Just the hospitality, the laughter, the unpretentious, just people being real, and put on a great event. And I heard, Mr. White, that it's the first time you've ever hosted a GS Partners event, and to have something for the first time go off like that. I mean, it was like dynamite. The energy was high the whole time in the meeting. And the energy was high from the time we got there on that Thursday. And you open up your home to us with the peach cobbler, the blackberry cobbler, and some of your closest friends. That was really, really cool, and really heartwarming, really set the stage for me. And I was talking to you this morning, and I referred to you as a straw that stirs the drink. You truly are, in my opinion. And I really appreciate you as well. So you all are in for some information this evening. We thank you for joining us. I just believe in giving roses when people can smell them. And you can never say nice things about a person any day. So thank you again. And thanks for your wife, Gail, and your whole team for what you do. So I wanted to share a couple of things today a little differently regarding not just this space, but understanding why I have the energy I do have. Some of you have been on the Zoom for a number of times, and you've seen it a number of times. You've seen the same information. And so what I was mentored by Dr. Bess is, Stephn, don't try to be impressive. You want to impress upon people. You're going to have 20, 30, 40% of the people have seen the same presentation 100 times, but you want to be able to go into those presentations, Stephn, as if it's new to you, even though you've seen it 100 times. But it's going to be new to that person that people have been trying their hardest to invite to see this information for the first time. And I want to tell you all, from what we've seen in the last 4 weeks, coming back from Dubai, culminating with some of the trainings throughout the week, and then being in Dallas, Texas, seeing that energy, all those new people excited about where we're headed. I want to encourage you to be packing every call you possibly can throughout the day to invite people to hear this information, because a lot of things are going to happen, and Mr. White is going to talk about that's coming down the pipe in terms of our way of life and dealing with our currency. So it's very, very unique. And so for me, I come from very humble beginnings. 4 brothers in 1 bedroom with 20 million roaches. And, my mother was a functioning alcoholic. My father ran taverns and gambling houses. They divorced when I was 2 years old. I OD'd on PCP in 8th grade. I had a mentor by the time I got in high school. I had gotten kicked out of my house in 8th grade as well for stopping my stepfather and beating up my mother, and a gun put in my mouth. Anyway, I ended up leaving with the police. So I share that with you because we all have different backgrounds. You see me now, I'm cleaned up. God has done some great things in my life. I no longer smoke weed every day like I did up until my sophomore year in college, and God took that desire away. And Mr. Greene mentioned been married 37 years now, not one male, and I don't say this to brag or anything like that, but has been married with one woman for the time that I have. And I say that because I want to break some of the historical things happening with the males in the McNeal family. In my line, I got some great brothers. I'm really grateful for them. And so when you see my energy and my excitement, just know it comes from that well, which God's allowed me to survive out of, to be able to transfer that belief in what I see. So I use the phrase trust means a lot to me. It's because of where I come from. I trust and I love the people that I get a chance to work with, like Mr. White, Mr. Greene, Mr. Delco, Crypto Steve, and all the leadership. that have displayed some great things. So I'm just going to show a few of these slides to move forward. And so when I got exposed to this space, it literally made no sense to me. And I didn't get involved initially because a friend of mine said, Stephn, the future of money is here. It's called cryptocurrency. Do you have any? This was 2009. And I said, no, I didn't, I hadn't heard of it. And he told me about it. Didn't make any sense to me. So I didn't get involved. 2011, same thing. I didn't get involved. Another friend of mine said the future of money was here. I asked two questions. Who was the founder? They told me the name, Matushi Nakamoto. And the second thing was, how can I look up information about the corporate headquarters? He said they don't have one, but go ahead and send me a couple $1,000s to get started. I was like, man, I come from corporate. I own 2 insurance companies. I built and sold. I understand corporate structures, value lines of stocks, the whole nine. And I'm like, man, I can't send you the money. You're not going to beat me. And so I didn't do it. I made an emotional decision, and I took no steps to even investigate or try to research the cryptocurrency, particularly Bitcoin at that point. Fast forward 10 years later, 2019, Dr. Best gave me a call to talk about the new company is about to launch in this crypto space. And I joined rotely, meaning I just immediately joined based off my trust and understanding of who he was as a person of integrity, but also who he was as a businessman, precocious business guy. And so trust, I joined immediately without doing the investigation because I knew he had done it all. And so what I did do is I prayed and asked for wisdom to create some slides to help present this to people, my family and people in my circle, where they wouldn't miss the message because the messenger. Most of my friends and family see me coming because I've been selling stuff all my life. And so I didn't want them to miss it because it's going to happen. And so what he gave me was this whole economies of time where, where you see, and there's an economic order, system of production where goods and services are meted out in a society where it changes the way we do life. It really impacts us. So you see these products here that change the way we did life, whether it's entertainment or just communication, Walkman, recorded information, camcorders, all these things that we've lived through the continuum of time, how they've evolved. And we see all these different devices change the way we did life, right? And when the technology makes a paradigm shift, it never asks our permission. We just adjust rotely as a consumer and buy the new widget or gadget or product or service. We go ahead and get that. It never asks our permission. Innovation does just that. It innovates. And so in innovating, Mr. Steve Jobs, a very precocious individual who totally created and changed the way communication happened and even entertainment and recorded information by inventing this smartphone. And it changed what we did life. All those things you see here were put in this one device you could put in your pocket. Put that boom box in your pocket, right? but you can put all that right there and just get some speakers and got Bluetooth technology. Now you're good to go. Phenomenal technology changed everything. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that we are partnered with the guy, Joseph Haidt, who has the same creative genius, the same entrepreneurial brilliance to create in the blockchain what Mr. Steve Jobs and brains and creative geniuses like him, think of Richard Branson, think Bill Gates, thinks Jeff Bezos, think Joseph Haidt. He's that guy to the blockchain, in my opinion. We just been blessed with our place and time to ride shotgun in this creative genius. It's amazing. So look at Web 3.0 and you look at computers. Some of you all remember when we did not have the internet, right? Some of us remember what that was like, trying to learn how to get on the internet and do keystrokes, right? Learning Fortran and COBOL. And now you look at what's happening with these things weren't here 40 years ago, 30 years, some of us in our, before we went to college and high school and middle school, whatever, Yahoo, MSN. This is Web 1.0 when it was just kind of taking traction in our daily lives. Web 2.0, now we can start participating. These are all companies that once were not here, but now they're mainstream, they're iconic brands in everything that we do. And so whether it's WhatsApp, Messenger, Facebook, IG, Amazon Web Service, Uber, this is all different. And this innovation continues to happen from 1.0 to Web 2.0 to Web 3.0, totally changing the game. This is huge, where this whole decentralization in this financial, now new terms called fintech, is changing everything. And it's amazing what we see happening. Now we see the banks moving in a major way into the blockchain space. Notice I didn't just say crypto. The cryptocurrency runs literally on the tracks of the blockchain. It is huge. This blockchain space continues to evolve and innovate, where you see banks moving billions of dollars now into various crypto projects all around the world, and all around the country, and all these different companies. One of them I'm going to highlight, and I do this every time I do this presentation on Tuesday nights and with people throughout the day, is this whole company right here called Certic. Google this company. Goldman Sachs is putting a ton of money into various projects. One of them is Certic. So when you go back to the late 80s, and when the internet was really just starting to take off, a guy by the name of Mr. McAfee, he started figuring out a way to help protect people navigating on the internet from unscrupulous individuals, right? So you had McAfee security. That's a business, right? It's amazing what they've done. So now with the blockchain, this company, Certic, is running the same play. It's literally running the same play that McAfee did for the internet. They're doing it for the blockchain. And as you go down, you see some iconic banks, where it's BNB, BNY, New York Mellon, one of our country's oldest banks, moving over $1 billion into the blockchain space now. Citigroup, Wells Fargo, the HSBC. So a lot of things you're going to hear as you start, for those of you who have an entrepreneurial spirit and you end up sharing this with other people, and they say they never heard of it, or it must be a scam because the banks aren't letting us do it. They're not telling us to do it. Well, I want you to know the banks are doing it. They're just not sending you a letter in the mail saying, Mr. Customer, we love the fact that you joined our bank and been a very, very committed, member. We think you should start moving into the blockchain and crypto space, because we certainly are. They don't do that. They ain't doing that. They ain't telling us anything. We are the messengers. So don't miss the message because of the messenger. Really get involved, do your due diligence. We look fast forward to the future. Everything happening, particularly in our company, is going to be driven by utility of the native coins or cryptocurrency, meaning the use case. And in our ecosystem, what's been created really drives utility, and it's incredibly valuable. You look at former Goldman Sachs executive predicting, well into millions of people join this crypto space. Understand that less than 95% of the global population are even involved in blockchain and crypto. And meaning, in terms of opportunities with scale, this is unprecedented. It's unprecedented for any business person to have an opportunity where the marketplace is demanding it. And we get to be some of the first people to offer this opportunity and just expose it. You don't have to sell it, just expose it. There's a major resurgence. Yeah, there's some ebb and flow in Bitcoin, but it's coming back. There's a lot of things happening on the horizon. And Mr. White will share a little bit of those things later, but there's some big things happening in this crypto space, major phenomenon happening. We are in the right place at the right time. You see where Russia's central bank is now offering some things in the crypto space in terms of usage. Their government is now allowing their people, citizens, to now, I use them as an example because it's not just them, it's the European Union as well. Our country is kind of trying to politicize this process. And you see, again, Russia's largest bank offering Ethereum as a DeFi platform. So it's a global movement, whether it's the G7 countries, all over the world, is happening, and it's coming up with new things every day, all the time. Some really new things are happening where you see the space moving in kind of warp speed. I really like it. You see the resurgence and expanding use cases for NFTs is happening. There's increase in terms of regulation of cryptocurrency and exchanges. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That's a good thing. It's because they're figuring out ways to keep it going. Our country cannot allow other countries to do great things and for their citizens in the blockchain crypto space and leave us at a competitive disadvantage. So we're in a good space. EU moving to allow their banks to hold 2% capital in Bitcoin and crypto. It is amazing what's happening in this space. And I want to go ahead and move toward I want to introduce our next speaker. I really have mad respect for this gentleman in terms of not just his acumen, in the financial space, just who he is as a person. He's a former senior partner, senior vice president of relationship management for several large insurance companies and banks and financial companies all around our country. He's led the efforts to expand those, whether it's financial institutions, the clients, as well as adding new clients. He's done some tremendous things, possessing over 41 years of experience in the financial services. He also held large positions or leadership positions in banks, brokerage firms, and insurance companies. Bachelor's degree from University of Chicago, certified financial educator instructor. That's huge. That's huge. And he's giving us the benefit of his best thinking throughout the week, 24/7 for his team and others. He and his wife, Gail, doing some tremendous things out there in Texas. They have a true heart for people. Got a chance to experience that this past weekend. It's one thing to watch people for months on Zoom, and you finally get a chance to see a person in action leading something, how they navigate. I was peeping game from afar, just watching what they do, taking copious notes on his team, and how no one was clamoring to get the light. They were all about support and helping the whole process. They had a plan. They execute on that plan, and he's been executing this plan and building this business and working with others throughout our country. So it's my true joy, pleasure to introduce my brother in Christ, my brother from another mother, to Mr. Charles White. The floor is yours, sir.
You know, it's really hard. Don't go away, Mr. McNeal. There's a couple things I want to say. I thank you for that introduction. You make me bigger than I am with that introduction. So thank you. I appreciate it. You and your team came down here this weekend and made everything better. You guys made us better. Mr. Ambassador Joel Gay is on here tonight, and he has an open microphone. Crown Ambassador Michael Dalco is on tonight. He has an open microphone. Continental Executive Johnny Greene Jr. is on tonight. And if I missed anyone, I apologize. But I want to ask you this question. When you were talking about the banks and how they're moving, the financial institutions, pardon me, and how they're moving money to the blockchain, it reminded me of the story of Willie Sutton. Have you ever heard that story before?
I have not.
Okay, I'm going to tell that story. So Willie Sutton was a notorious bank robber. And they finally caught him. I mean, he robbed banks all across the country. And the one question they asked him was, why do you rob banks? His answer was very simply, because that's where the money is. That's where the money is. So when he was talking about the banks, financial institutions moving to the blockchain, that reminded me of Willie Sutton. It was brilliance. He went to where the money was. That's what the financial institutions are doing. They're moving to where the money is and is going. You have to follow the money. So if you can see financial institutions moving there, right? And they're trying to get there before you do so they can get established and suck up all the money and all the good positions. So then you have to come into it and pay them for their services that they're in there investigating before you get there. You see what I'm saying, Mr. McNeal?
Exactly right.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. They're going to resell it to us in the form of some ETF or some repackage, some sort of mutual fund where they got it at a low price. Now they got a chance to really maximize their margins. Absolutely.
Okay. So the person that invited you here wants to help you avoid that. They want to help you get in front of the banks instead of behind them. And maybe you might even have some services to sell them. I'm just saying, I have a very simple presentation tonight. Mr. Delco, who's on here tonight, wrote this presentation. And I can't do it as well as he can, but I'm going to do my best, Mr. Delco. So I'm going to share my screen, and the sound and the make sure we can all see this. I'll minimize that, and I'll minimize the chat. Okay, and I'll maximize the screen. How about that? Wow, he actually did it. So we're wealth builders, and we're wealth builders worldwide. And our goal, we have a goal, is to solve a global problem: how to make more money, how to save more money, how to grow the money we already have, making it work for you in order to create a lifestyle, a dream freedom lifestyle. Our founder, Mr. Tyrone Best, talked about freedom all the time. And so he was very profound in his thinking of getting yourself free, how to do that. What are the steps to take? And so far be it from me, you know, Mr. Best was about 6 months older than me, but he had studied and improved himself, and he just did incredible things. The only thing I would add to what Mr. Best said, and you know, humbly add, let me just make sure you understand that. What I would humbly add is that in order to live a dream freedom lifestyle, you have to have the courage to make a change. Because if you keep doing the same thing that you've been doing over and over and over again, and get the same results over and over and over again, if you look in the dictionary beside the word insanity, that's the definition. You have to have the courage to make a change. Okay, let's move on. That's all I got to say about that. Okay, we're going to talk about Blockfolio Payback Program and passive residual income. And I want to talk about doubling your money. I think that's important. Mr. Greene didn't say it tonight, but you know, doubling your money really puts us in the frame of mind to think about the rule of 72. And so if you could find a way to double your money every year, making it work, you know, money's got to have a job. You got to make your money work for you. Money has to have a job. It's supposed to work for you ceaselessly, tirelessly, 7 days a week. Like my friend Crypto Steve says, 8 days a week, 25 hours a day, which means all the time. Money doesn't need a break. It doesn't need a vacation. And so we have to do that without using obsolete traditional methods that actually work against you. What do you mean by that, Charles? If you put your money in the bank and they pay you 0.001%, the legal minimum, that's actually working against you. At the legal minimum, it'll take 720,000 years for your money to double. So let's start with $2,000. If you could make it double every year, the first year you'd have 4,000. After 2 years, 8,000. After 3 years, 16. After 4 years, 32. After 5 years, 64. Now those numbers seem to be getting bigger fast, but it's just math, and we're doubling. We're just doubling your money every year. 128,000 after 6 years, 256,000 after 7 years, 512,000 after 8 years, 1 million. See, look at that jump from 8 years to 9 years. Go to 500,000 to 1 million, but it's just math. It's just doubling. Okay. 10 years, because remember, all we're doing is doubling every year. Look at that from 9 to 10, 2,048,000, 4,096,000, 8,192,000. That's a monstrous plan if you can find some place to double your money every year, right? Okay. But 95% of people are locked into the 40-40-40 plan. Charles, what is that? Well, you work for 40 years, okay? And you retire on 40% of what you made, inadequately made, while you were working. And then the next 40 years, you have to deal with that until you die. At your most vulnerable time. That is, it really ought to be criminal. It ought to be outlawed, but that's our country. And you know what? It's good because in some countries it's even worse. And what you end up relying on is Social Security benefits, other retirement plans, and your family. What does that look like? Hey, mom calls son. Hey, son, I need some help. What do you mean, mom? Well, I had to buy a prescription. They gave me a prescription for some antibiotics, and the antibiotics cost $2,500, and it wiped out my bank account. You know, the reason I said that is because I just had a prescription that cost $2,500. Now, it didn't wipe out my bank account because I have Metaverse certificates, but it could have wiped out my bank account. You see what I mean? This happens every day, and it's just a difficult situation. So I want to talk about where you are in your life, not me and mine. I want to, because I'm retired, I want to talk about where you are in your life. And I want to talk about linear income versus residual income. These concepts come from Robert Kiyosaki, who is himself pretty brilliant. So let's take a look and see what he's talking about. With linear income, it's active income trading time for dollars. If you have a job, that's what you're doing. You're trading time for dollars. And you don't have any leverage. Time equals money, no leverage. And they call you an employee because you have used your time to get employed and generate revenue, money. But every minute that you spend there, you get paid. When you don't, you get home, you don't get paid anymore. You get tired of that job and you say, you know what, I'm going to start my own business. And you become self-employed. And then you're trading your time for more dollars, but you don't have any leverage. You still don't have any leverage, but you do own your job. The problem is if you get sick or if you, go on vacation, if you're not working for some reason, you didn't get a job this week, you're out of business. You don't have any money coming in. That's tough. And the thing that most people who say, I'm going to start my own business, the thing that most people who say that don't understand is that at that point, this classification of people in the United States pay the highest taxes. They pay the highest taxes. And there are many of you on this platform own your own job, own your own business. Okay. You just need to know, all we're doing here is education. Remember, this is for the education of our community. That's all. The next piece of that is passive income, not dependent on your presence. See, on the left side, you got active income, trading time for dollars. On the right side, we have passive income, not dependent on your presence. Okay. What does that look like? You run with a system. You have a business system. People work for you or people work with you. Okay. And so you get more dollars because of the leverage of you using other people's energy, okay, to work in your business. That's good. That is passive income. That's awesome. You don't have to be there. The business keeps running. That's awesome. Now let's look at this last quadrant, and it's called the investor quadrant. It's your dollars working for you and creating more dollars. That's called passive income. And it's where your money works for you. Money has to have a job. Most of us, our money lays on the couch. It just like a brother-in-law. Y'all heard me tell the story before. And he comes and knocks on the door and he says, hey, your sister-in-law threw me out and I need someplace to sleep. And he says, can I sleep on your couch for a couple of days, which turns into a couple of weeks, which turns into a couple of months until you throw him out. And you come home from work and he takes off his shoes. You come home from work, he's taking off his shoes, he's laying on the couch, and he's got your remote. You know, the one you use to change the channels to the shows that you want to watch. He's got your remote. And you smell his feet because his shoes are sitting there. And there's beer cans and potato chip bags all over the place. The house is a mess. And he says, hey, Bill, when you go past that refrigerator, would you hand me a beer? Wow. This is your money laying on the couch, out of work, not doing anything, lazy. Money has to have a job. Crypto Steve says it evaporates. It evaporates if it doesn't have a job. It goes away. It just disappears. I can attest to that. If you don't have your money working, somebody else will take it from you and put it to work. Okay. Passive income, not dependent on your presence. We want to put you on the right side of the cash flow quadrant with either running a system or being an investor. That's where the money is made. That's where, you know what, you don't feel good, your money goes to work for you and brings home money every day. That's what you want. And I want to talk about the new digital era. It's here. GS Partners. We have metaverse with mining, meta trading, meta brokerage, meta estate city developments, NFTs, meta markets, meta gaming, and so much more. This platform. My friend Jobie Gay says that the certificates are the key to get into this new digital world. And we're going to talk about those certificates here in a minute. But remember, they're just the key to get into this new digital world. All right. So let's talk about them. We proudly present the Elemental certificates. This is our fourth set of certificates. Fourth set. And you might ask the person who invited you, well, why didn't you tell me about the first set? Why you just tell me now? Ask them that. Also, ask them, you know, in order to register for this, you have to be a member. In order to register for this, you have to have a referral code from your sponsoring partner, the partner who sponsored you. If you don't have it, send them a text right now and ask them for the referral code, because you're going to see why in a hot second, why you need that referral code, and you need it now. You need it now. Okay. There are 9 elemental certificates. The Terra is the $100 certificate, and it goes all the way up to the Prana at 100,000. The Terra is only available for your first 30 days as a member. You can't get it after that. Well, why? Why, Charles? Why do they do that? Well, they want to help you. This is not just about getting you a certificate. Remember what I said in the very beginning? We're wealth builders. And so we have found a system that will help you build your wealth and your legacy. So in the first 30 days, you can buy a certificate from a light to a prana, okay, as a new member. And then buy 2 Terras at $100 and get a second of the highest that you bought. So if you bought a prana at $100,000 and 2 Terras at $100, they would gift you another prana in your account. You didn't hear me. They would gift you another prana in your account. That's only available for the first 30 days. Okay. So when you come into this thing, you come in with your track shoes on, get ready to run. Get ready to run. Okay. So let's talk about what those certificates look like. I want to talk about one. They all work the same way. They're all in proportion, the same proportion. They're not out of proportion. So when you look at the nature is the $5,000 certificate. There are 6 block folios, or come on now, don't go backwards on me. There are 6. 1, 2, meta portfolio. There are 6 block folios or sectors that you can make your deposit into and grow your money. The fintech sector has a bonus. Is that fintech? $17,500. Look at that bonus. And it pays 5% for 52 weeks. 5% for 52 weeks. And on top of that, it's got 1.5% monthly on a monthly payback program on the load. So let me just get this right. So you got two things working off the load, right? The 5% weekly works off the load, but it only goes for 52 weeks. I said only, but in that 52 weeks at 5%, you recover your load, what you loaded into the system. Then on top of that, you get 1.5% per month for 24 months. Well, 1.5% times 12 months is 18% a year. 18% a year. So if you look at these three items here, the bonus that you get at the end, 17,500, the 5% WPY. What's that mean? There's some different factors going here. WPY means weekly percentage yield. You're not going to find that anyplace else. You get this every week. MPY is monthly percentage yield, 1.5% per month, which turns into an 18% annual percentage yield. You following me? So what you get at the bank, they might even offer you today 3, 4, I've seen as high as 5% APY. APY, annual percentage yield. But if you can get 5% WPY, why would you even sniff at 5% APY? Why would you do that? Use your thinker. That's my challenge, is to help people use their thinker. And we haven't been doing that very well because we've been letting the banks, the financial institutions, pay us 0.001, literally the legal minimum on our money, and we haven't even been protesting them. You talk about a broken, corrupt system. It's broken and it's corrupt. Why would I say that? Well, you know, I used to be I'm a graduate banker. I graduated from the University of Virginia with a graduate banking degree. And so I know how to run a bank. I've run banks before. And the biggest expense of the bank is not the beautiful tall buildings that are shiny with glass. It's not the hundreds of thousands of employees that they have. It's not the locations that they've bought. You know what it is? It's the interest expense, the amount that they pay their customers for holding their money. So if they reduce the interest expense to nothing and they're still failing, there's something rotten in Denmark. The system is corrupt. They're not following the rules. And the feds can't keep up with them. They can't keep up with them. And then the next thing you know, they're failing. How can a bank fail if it eliminates its biggest expense? There's something wrong. Okay? And I tell people all the time, if you're banking in a corrupt system, it can't last for long. Now, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to tell you to use your thinker. People ask me all the time, Charles, is this program safe? Is this system safe? And my retort is, we're not on trial. Of course it's safe. They ask me, well, why wouldn't I keep my money in the bank? And I say, why would you? Why would you keep your money in the bank? So the other thing I wanted to tell you about before I go on to the next section is that our money system is about to change. The federal government is going to replace the dollar bill, not the dollar, but the dollar bill with a digital coin. That's coming up soon. And my admonishment to you is don't get caught with a lot of dollars in your hands. Don't get caught. When they make that change, it'll be like, you know, like they say in the Bible, like a thief coming in the night. They're not going to tell you tomorrow it's going to change. They're just going to change it and tell you to bring your money in so we can give you the new system to work with. If if you think I'm making this up, you can't make this stuff up. Look up Fed Now. Okay, look it up. Do some research. Don't get caught with a lot of cash in your hands. Okay, just me saying that. Don't get caught with a lot of cash in your hands. What I want to tell you though is, find somewhere to diversify. If it's not our system with us, find something else. Find a place to diversify your holdings. Find a place to diversify your holdings. Okay, I've said enough of that. That's enough about that. All right. So this is a $5,000 certificate. Each one of these opportunities to load is $5,000. So you can load the fintech, you can load the meta portfolio and get a $10,000 bonus. You can load the real estate and get a $15,000 bonus. Excuse me, meta portfolio, real estate, and then look at the bonus on the renewables, $20,000. So at the end of 30 months, you see here it says 30 months, you get your $20,000 bonus, plus you get your load back of $5,000. That's amazing. The supplement segment. Now, I have to just tell you, the supplement segment the bonus is not in cash or in crypto, it's in supplements. And the gaming bonus, which is generous, is not in cash, it's in gaming tokens. Because we now have supplements and gaming. All right, let's go a little further. So what I'm asking you to do is get back to the person who invited you to register and register your free account. Get their registration code. Okay, 2 steps to get started. Register a free GS Partners account. You need a registration code. The person who invited you can provide that for you. Remember, I talked about that earlier. Using the referral link from your introducing member. Fund your GS Partners account with crypto and activate your GS Partners membership for only $33 USDT. Now, why am I talking about USDT? Because this system does not accept fiat currency. What's fiat currency, Charles? The dollar bill, the British pound, the euro, the yuan, any currency issued by a country. We don't accept that. We only accept digital currencies, cryptocurrencies. Okay, step 2, use the GS Partners global platform with accepted cryptocurrencies in exchange for your elemental certificate of your choice. 100% load your certificate and start earning in the payback program. Step 3, tell your friends. Use the lucrative referral rewards program through GS Partners and start earning daily. I do. 9-level pay plan. There's a 9-level pay plan. Activate a GSP membership subscription for only $33 USDT per month and get paid instantly. Now it says $33 per month, 33 USDT per month, which is the equivalent of $33. Okay. It's not $33. It's 33 USDT because remember, this system does not accept your cash. You have to convert it to USDT or Bitcoin or Ethereum per month to get paid instantly on your referrals and on your team's referrals up to 9 levels. So why would you do this? You know what? I started out with the system and I said, if I could just get my money together, I'll be okay. I don't have to tell anybody. I tell people all the time, I'm not a marketer. I'm not a marketer. They call it networking. I don't do that. And so I still say that. But what I do is I talk to people, TTP, I talk to people. And so I call it person-to-person marketing. Person to person, person to person, person to person, person to person. And so you do that. And because my mission is to rescue as many people as I can from the corrupt banking system that we have. You know, the only difference between Willie Sutton, the bank robber, and the banks that we do business with today, he robbed banks, they're robbing us. The Congress sanctions them. That's the only difference, is that the Congress sanctions them. They allow that to happen. Your congressman, the people that you send up there to represent you, right? They allow it to happen. Okay, level 1, 15%. So every time you refer someone and they purchase a certificate, you get a 15% commission on the purchase price. I think that's extraordinary. And if you sponsor one person as a sponsoring partner, you get paid down 3 levels: 15%, 5%, and 4%. If you sponsor an additional person, now you're getting paid down 6 levels, an additional 4%, 4%, 4%. And if you sponsor 3 people, you get paid down 9 levels. And so on the 9th level, look at that, 6% on the 9th level. I'll be so excited when I get to the 9th level. And so here is, let's just say that, you know, this is not a guarantee of income. It's merely an example. No income claims are being made. This is just a spreadsheet. Spreadsheets will show us what the potential is. If you go down 9 levels and everyone sponsors 3 people, right? This is what you could earn from just the membership fees. I think that's extraordinary. Okay. So here's some events. You know, it's a complete wealth building system, and there's support. It's not all about Charles on Tuesday night, but there's a Sunday night call, the power call Monday through Saturday, the strategy session Monday through Saturday at 12 noon and 9 p.m. This is where you can invite your guests. Women in Crypto every Tuesday at 7 Eastern. The tools training Thursday at 10. Life events. We have a Let's Go weekend coming up in August. So that's our life events. These are things that help you to grow your business. We just had a session here in Dallas. Freedom Rising had a session in Dallas, and we had a great time. I think that's it. Let's look at, I'm going to stop sharing this screen, and I want to go to take a look. Let's see if I can get my account open. Take a look at a live account. Certificates. What do they look like? Okay. I'll do that right now. This is a live account. Okay. And if you go into the elemental certificates and you hit purchase, you see it says fast start on the Terra. This is only available for your first 30 days. And my day, they reset every day, everybody for on May 15th. My days are numbered. You see my fast start is running out. 5 days, 23 hours, 8 minutes, and 20 seconds. And that bad boy is ticking. So if you're on here and you haven't bought certificates yet, you know, you can buy a water and 2 Terras and get a free water. You can buy a fire and 2 Terras and get a free fire. That's what the fast start bonus is all about. This system helps you build your wealth. If I were going to buy a certificate, for example, I could buy, I bought a bunch of Terras. I could buy a water. Price, let's see, view details on the water. Let's see if it'll come up. Aha. See, you just hit that button that says exchange now and you get it. And you see the fintech, the renewables at 4,000, bigger bonus, real estate at 3,000, meta portfolio at 2,000, supplements at $4,000 bonus, and gaming at $4,000 bonus. And look at this. If you do fintech and load it 4,000, you get 5% per week. If you load renewables on top of that, you get 4% per week. If you load them both, now you're getting 9% per week. And you load the real estate on top of that, that's 12.5% per week. 12.5% per week. That's awesome. So get back to the person. These things are real. let's see. Let's go look at a real one. Let's go back to my certificates. I have one. I have one. See, there is, I have a water. That was a free water. Here's a Terra that I loaded. Let's look at it. Let's look inside. I loaded the fintech. I loaded the renewables. I loaded the real estate. Load now. Let's take a look at it. It says my next weekly reward, June 8th. It tells you when it's going to compound. They don't hold anything back. If I wanted to withdraw that money, it would show right up in my dashboard. Renewing, okay? So it tells you what the value is. Real estate, 400 USDT. And so this is how the certificates work. Can you imagine loading the renewables and already having a $1,504 value? That's amazing. It's amazing. The fintech. And this is a Terra. It's not a $1,000 certificate. This is a $100 certificate. This is how you build your wealth. Build your wealth. I'll stop sharing. I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Greene. I'm going to answer questions, just a couple. How much time do we have left, Mr. Greene? Not much.
Well, we have a couple of, well, this is what I would like to do, just for the people to actually get back with the person that invited them. So let's just get one question tonight. And I know we have some leaders, and I would like to at least get their marching orders.
Well, you know what, Mr. Greene, let's do that instead of the questions, because you can always get back with the person who invited you and get your questions answered.
Yes.
Let's
sir,
hear from
I
Mr.
agree.
Delco and Ambassador, Crown Ambassador at Delco and Ambassador Gay.
Let's see if Mr. Dalco is still here. If you're here, Mr. Dalco, please unmute yourself so I can introduce you. Actually, I'll have my sponsor, mentor, Mr. McNeal. I don't see, he might have left already for his 6 o'clock call. If Jobie Gay's here, if you can unmute yourself, Mr. Ambassador Jobie Gay, that was down in the Dallas area, I would greatly appreciate it.
I'm here.
Perfect. Mr. Jobie Gay, come on out, brother. Tell us exactly what's going on. I know you're on fire. You had some team members here. You blessed us with the explanation of the metaverse. If you could actually go over just a couple of things that you might have seen that we are missing to give the people that are here an explanation of what we really are sitting on, because we haven't even touched on the metaverse.
Well, thank you, Mr. Greene. Yes, I was very, very blessed and honored to be in Dallas, and it was exciting. You might see a little bit of red on me. Was enjoying the beach today. My brother and his family came into town, and so we were enjoying some stuff, but it was so cool to be on this call and hearing what's going on. Folks, we have the tiger by the tail if you want to take advantage of it. It's totally up to you. It's totally your choice. But I'm telling you, this is the key to the kingdom. You get that certificate, it opens the door to what we have, what is called Lydian World, which is our metaverse. And I'm so excited about our metaverse. I'm extremely pumped about our certificates because I love, pushing that button every week. Tomorrow is a harvest day for me. I heard someone say, hey, it's harvest. I'm like, ooh, I like that. So tomorrow is a harvest time, and I'm going to smash that button. I'm all about cash flow. I want to create that cash flow now so I can use that to do what? Fund potentially more certificates, pay my bills, right? We all have bills. But that metaverse, our Lydian world, is really, in my humble opinion, is the actual product that we're offering. And so, folks, if you want to learn how to make money on the blockchain every single day, you need to get back with the person who shared this with you. Stay tuned in, listen to these guys, these leaders, and you're going to do it. So that's what I got, man.
Tan is looking good. Thank you, Mr. Gay. Thank you for all you do. It was definitely a blessing to see you in the great D, as we call it, the big D. Everything's big in Dallas, and that was Jobie Gay on stage. He did it big on stage in Dallas. So with no further ado, I'm going to yield the floor to our speakers tonight. I definitely want to give a special shout out to Mr. Covington. Thank you for being here. I know we usually use you to start the question and A, but I think because we've had such a specific instructions in as far as what the certificates look like, you did an amazing job, Mr. White, going over exactly what we have. Just get back in contact with the person who invited you here, and we'll actually have our speakers of the evening close us out with last words, and we'll play one song and we'll get out of here and go to the next actual Zoom. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Greene. The floor is yours, Mr. White. I just want to encourage everyone, take action, take massive action, start yesterday and get going, get back with your sponsor or whoever invited you, get logged in, get your coins and get your certificates, get involved right now. Tell people as with a sense of urgency, talk to everyone, wait on no one, but definitely get busy. Mr. White, mic is yours, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. McNeal, Mr. Greene. I appreciate y'all being here. I have some awesome team members that I wanted to recognize. I wanted to recognize Billy and Andrea Filer, who led the meeting. They took control of that meeting from months ago, and they planned it. They worked with the entire team. Miss Brenda Davis, Mr. David McBride and his lovely wife, Nikki. I don't want to forget anybody, but there were so many people that worked on this team. My wife, Gail, I don't want to forget her, that's for sure. And people showed up. Miss Denise Edison showed up. Miss Angela Gilchrist showed up to support that meeting. We had people that hadn't been around for a long time, and they showed up and supported the meeting. It was an awesome meeting. We had a standing room only crowd of 262 in a room that was supposed to hold 200. It was jam-packed, and we were just loving it, loving every minute. Miss Juanita Grooms showed up to help out. This was an amazing event. And I want to tell you, if you get a chance to go to an event like this in your area, or the next time we do one, we're as soon as we can, kind of calm our brains down, we'll get in the planning process to see if we want to do another one of these. I don't know if I'll have the energy to do it or not, because this place was absolutely rocking. Dallas was rocking. Mr. Kerry Banks came up from Houston. The two doctors came up from Houston, Dr. David Hollins, Dr. Rhonda Hollins. We had Dr. Dominique Curry. The speaker, Mr. Crypto Steve was here. Mr. Joel Gay was here. All those speakers did a magnificent job of presenting the information, and the excitement in the room was, it was big. It was big. So get back to the person that invited you to this meeting, get their referral card, referral code, get started. If you don't have enough information and someone on my team, someone on the Dallas Freedom team invited you to this meeting and you need more information, you get back with them and we'll do a special Zoom for you. That's my promise to you, so that you can have the information and you can have a direct conversation with me or with anybody that you will arrange it to have a conversation with anybody you want to hear from. So if you're on our team, we'll help you do that. Thank you all very much. It's been an amazing evening. Mr. Greene, I'm going to stop the recording.